If you're considering a greenhouse kit that includes a foundation frame, you've probably noticed the manuals can be a little bit confusing. Hi, I'm Trevor from Greenhouse Emporium, and in this video, I'll break down exactly how the foundation frame works and why it's a great option for certain setups, and how to install it step by step. By the end, you'll have the confidence to tackle your own project and avoid some of the common pitfalls that unfortunately we had to learn along the way. Are you ready? Let's dig in. So what is a foundation frame? Well, it's a C-shaped frame available as an optional accessory for greenhouse kits like the Rika or the Nelke Pro here. You see, it anchors your greenhouse securely to the ground by sitting inside of a trench and then connecting directly to the structure. It's very simple in concept. You dig a trench, you level the ground, you assemble, you backfill, and you're ready to go. We chose this option because it's easy to install and it works as a semi-permanent solution. If we ever decide to move, we can take this greenhouse with us. Plus, it fits our needs for permitting. But while it's convenient, there are a few things that you should keep in mind. Leveling is the most important part of any greenhouse construction. Without it, the kit won't fit together properly, and you risk creating a lot of stress points that could weaken the structure over time. A level foundation means a stronger, longer-lasting greenhouse. We'll dive deep into greenhouse foundations in one of our next upcoming videos, so make sure to subscribe if you already haven't. If you're building on a slope, the foundation frame may not be your best option. We had to deal with this ourselves. We chose a retaining wall behind the greenhouse instead of a perimeter or a stem wall because we did not want a permanent greenhouse setup. Here are the tools that we used for the project. Some of these, like the laser level and the excavator, may not be necessary if you're working on flat or even ground. We'll note where they made a difference in our progress. We started by digging the trench using the excavator and a laser level to measure the trench. These tools helped a lot on our sloped property, which is very, very, very rocky. If your site is flat with less rocky soil, you may not need these sort of tools. Now, after digging and leveling the trench, we added the pavers in the corners. We use sand underneath them for easier leveling. These support the structure and prevent sagging. You may also add pavers to the center of the walls, especially if you get yourself a larger greenhouse. We leveled the pavers using the laser level and a regular level, and then double-checked everything with the foundation frame and a level. Installing the soil profiles on the foundation frame pieces is needed at this point. So let me show you how that works real quick. They rotate on and need to be attached with self-tapping screws. Here's a little tip. Drill a pilot hole to make it easier for you. Also, make sure there's equal space on both soil profile ends. Now, let's get back to the construction. Once all the framing was leveled and in place, we made sure that it was also square. Now, measure the diagonals. If they're equal, it's perfect. If they're not, you're going to need to adjust it. Now, the closer you get to its perfect square, the better it is for the assembly. After this, it's time to assemble the greenhouse. Take the gable profiles and leave the rest where it is. We'll get into detail on the greenhouse assembly in a different video. Once the greenhouse is assembled, you'll need to backfill the trench. Before we wrap up, it's time for a quick tips round to help you make the best or the most out of your project. So here we go. Tip 1, if you dig too deep, don't worry. You can always add some soil back or stack a little extra pavers to get everything aligned. We had to do this because the front, where the slope was the lowest, it didn't quite line up properly. Step 2, choose the flattest building spot possible to make your life a little bit easier. And hit the like button to make our life a little bit easier. Tip 3, if you're using heavy equipment, have your utilities line marked by the city beforehand. Remember, dial 811. Tip 4, think ahead about running conduit and water and electricity. You can place them underneath the foundation frame before backfilling to save yourself a little bit of time and effort later on. Overall, the foundation frame is a great option for its simplicity and its flexibility. It keeps our greenhouse secure, and while we learned a few lessons along the way, it's been a very solid choice. Thanks y'all for watching. We'll catch you later.